Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Trying to forget those feelings of love. Teardrops running down my face. Yeah, if you were there in Buffalo, you know what the hell I'm talking about because I was crying like a baby when I had to leave. Not because of great city of Buffalo. You know what? It's a much nicer city, almost town, than I ever would have expected. This is my second trip there. Actually, you know what? Buffalo and Cleveland, those are kind of those Rust Belt cities that get a big knock on them, but you know what? They are pretty good. And yes, it was the third MGK bash. Imagine the balls on this guy. He throws a birthday party for himself. I think this was Mike's, I think it was his 58th, because I think I am 12 years older than him. You wouldn't know it by looking at the two of us standing next to each other. You would think I'm probably his younger brother. I mean, we have the same hairline, but obviously I am the much better looking and younger person in that photo. So, where do I start this? Is this kind of a wrap up and a tribute? Also have to show my record purchases and my VCLT, and also just kind of do a recap. That's what everybody's doing. So, Mike and Patty, once again, thank you very much. You open your house to people who were, well, and are essentially strangers to you. You know, I mean, until you really meet somebody in person, they're a stranger to you. Yeah, you might talk to them text and through comments on YouTube and all that. But to do that, you know what? That is not my style. You know what? I am truly not a group entertainer. I don't mind if I have 2, 4, 6 people at my house. But once it gets beyond that number, you know, I'm flicking the light switch at like 6 o'clock saying, let's go, people. Time to go home. So, yes, thank you very much. And great thing about this year, talking about strangers. Okay, number of people I've met before. I've met some of the people in attendance at concerts, and I met some of them at last year's bash. But this year, got to meet, I believe, 3 people whom I had never met before. Final Sean from Florida. Very nice gentleman. Got to learn a lot about him. And then Richard's Vinyl Tap House from Colorado. Made the trip all the way. Richard, very loyal supporter of my channel and yours. Love Richard. Great guy. And then also Greg at 3 Dimensions of Vinyl. And one thing I'll say about Greg, everybody is exactly what I expect. But Greg, we have kind of this connection because we were both in the Air Force. We're both basically kind of the same age. Once again, I'm much younger looking. And, but Greg did not drive up from the Pittsburgh area. No, his son Ben drove him up. And that's what I would expect from a offspring of Greg and his wife. I believe that's Brenda. And I could probably name you all 4 of his granddaughters because he always signs off with that. But, yeah, it was a pleasure even meeting Ben. He didn't hang around. He had to go, he went off to like a Starbucks or something and did a bunch of emails and stuff for work. Very busy man, very busy man. But it was nice of him as a son to drive his father, because I think it was like 3.5 hours each way. So, Ben, hats off to you. Okay, so let me go here in the order of things I have written down because I don't want to forget anything, you know. Talk about the ultimate faux pas. So, Patty Cheesecake. You might have seen her wearing her t-shirt that I printed up for her. It says Patty Cheesecake right on it. Outdid herself again with her desserts. Her cheesecake, world famous, world renowned. Fantastic. I had 2 slices, so that's how much I think I made of myself. Then she made these. It's a Canadian dessert. And I asked her to pronounce it for me, and I did for Mike too. And I never asked for a spelling, so once I got home, I looked up, and it is Nani Nanaimo bars. Oh my God. So the base is like a brownie crust. Then in the middle, you've got like a custard filling. And then on top, you have a chocolate ganache. Ganache. Saying that twice. Fantastic. Why am I saying it twice? Well, because I had two of them. So I should have taken more for my ride home the next day. But Patty, being the sweetheart as she is, she did give me a little, I'm going to say a Go Cup, because she had this nice little plastic container, which three of her chocolate chip cookies fit into. They were fantastic. I had already had one or I think two when they came fresh out of the oven, warm. But she gave me three of these, and I only ate two on the ride home because I had to have my wife try one of them, and she was like, "Oh, it's fantastic." So, all right. So then, what else do we get here? Oh yes. So yes, like I say, great to see people I've met before, meet some new people. What did we do basically? Well, we drank a lot, we ate a lot, we walked a lot, we talked a lot. Most importantly, we laughed a lot. Kind of the amazing thing is, our conduit, our connection is music. And we didn't listen to much music. No, we just got to know each other better. And that's the great thing about this. I mean, one of my favorite, like probably hours, or favorite hour. I think it was on Saturday. No, Friday after we had gone to record stores, I believe. I sat at a table with Vinyl Sean, Embryonic, and Sir David Atkinson from England. And if you know me, I'm a numbers guy. And I like to hear how other countries do things. So we started talking about how Social Security is handled in Canada and the UK as opposed to the US. Here's a surprise. All three of them will tax you on any income you make, even though you've started to collect Social Security. They're basically taking $1 from every $2 you make. So good to know that we are not getting screwed any more than our neighbors to the north and the Commonwealth. And we also talked about the lottery. This was shocking to me, okay? In Illinois, and I'm assuming it's in any state in the U.S., you're basically losing 50% of what you won. The state and the federal government are taking half of that. You win 400 million, you're probably walking away with 200 million, okay? Canada and the UK, you keep it all. Yeah. How about that, huh? And then the other was, what was, oh, property taxes. So I asked how property taxes are held there. Now, I'm not going to let you know the worth of these homes, because that's not why these people shared it with me. But I asked Embryonic the worth of his house, and he told me, and I think he said his property taxes were around $9,000. And he said, we think that's too high. And I practically, well, as I'm coughing now, I practically coughed up a lung, because in my town, those property taxes for that price house would probably be around $45,000 a year. And he thought 9,000 Canadian was too much. Okay. So it's just interesting to see how different countries handle it. Sean is lucky. He lives in Florida. There's no state income tax. So yes, that was fantastic. And I also said this over the weekend. These are very profound words, so lock in here. Okay? I liken this weekend, this yearly weekend. It may only be 2 days for you, it may be 3, it may be 4. I like it liken it to a very intense, long-distance love affair. Okay? You meet once a year. Like I said, be it 2, 3, 4 days. You are with each other basically all the time. Very, very intense. And then you hug, say goodbye, see you next year. So, those of you who didn't make it the first year, the second year, or this year, I hope you can make it next year. And, okay, let's get through the, oh, by the way, I am completely wiped out, okay? I got home Sunday, like I said, at like 12:30, 12:40. My wife was talking to her sister, and when I got in, and even though her sister knew I had been gone for 4 days and had driven 9 hours, her sister kept her on the phone for another hour. So I'm just kind of scanning through the British Open, going up to like the last 9 holes because I want to see who's winning. And so yeah, then my wife and I sit and catch up, and I'm kind of watching the British Open out of the corner of my eye. And I said, let's just order a pizza. I'm not cooking, and she never cooks. So ordered a pizza, and then when it was time to pick it up, she said, I'm assuming I'm going to pick it up. I said, well, yes, you are. I just drove 570 miles. And so she went and got it, and we watched the British Open, and then we watched the World Cup final. Fantastic stuff. And so that night I went to sleep at 6 o'clock. I did not wake up until 4:15 the next morning. That is not like me to sleep for 10 hours. I mean, most nights I get by on 5, 6 hours sleep. And then Monday, I was so tired, I laid down for an hour and a half nap. And yeah, so still playing catch up. So that being said, let's check out what I got in the great city of Buffalo on my return to the not so great city of Chicago. First up, I'm going to show. Now, this man, he hosts the event. He's bestowed on me, let's see now, 1, 2, this is the third poster he's laid on me. First one, big one. He'd heard me say that I love the album cover of April Wines, The Whole World's Going Crazy. That's my favorite album by them, but I also love that album cover, kind of like with like a Mad Hatter character kind of on it. And he packaged it up beautifully, was not damaged, shipping it from Boston to Chicago. And then he sent me he knows I like Marillion, so then he sent me a Marillion poster. I believe it's a promo poster for Misplaced Child Tour. And that's probably like 12 by 18. So I have that too. And then he gave me this one. Genesis 1973 tour with Lou Reed. Well, fuck Lou Reed. Okay. Sorry, embryonic. But this, I'm guessing, is what, like 10 by 16 maybe? I don't know. I didn't pull out my protractor and compass and tape measure to figure it out. But thank you once again, Mike. But my wife is rather upset with you because that is just too much wall art surrounding rock and roll. But like I say, I don't know what I say, but I'm saying it. All right, so first up, MGK. Shout out to MGK. I just like the third or fourth shout out to him already, okay? Now, like, people are looking at me and they're like, people who were at the Colton Awards. Oh, yeah, I won another Colton Award. I didn't even bring it down with me. But, you know, it's gotten to be kind of passe at this point, okay? You pretty much know I'm a lock. Speaking of Malik was there, okay? So they're like, okay, let's wrap this up, Malik. Okay? Oof, that was pretty good. I just ad-libbed that right there, okay? All right, so MGK did some legwork before everybody showed up in town, and he cut some deals for us, okay? So first we went on Thursday to Revolver Records, okay? You know what? It's a decent store. I kind of like the layout. But he got us a 10% discount throughout the store, whatever we bought. So I saw this album cover. Shout out to Emma. She was upstairs in the room with me, and I saw this cover, and I said, I think I'm going to get that. And she says, well, you know what? You can take a listen to it if you want. They got a test turntable there with headphones. Now, I don't like doing that because I like a blind buy. I still like kind of doing what I did when I was growing up. But I took a couple listens because on the back here, it's from 1975, and it's out of Holland. And we got people here playing the mellotron, the organ. You know it's a Hammond organ. Synthesizer, honky-tonk piano. We've got your drums, your pedal, bass pedal, guitars, everything. So you know what? I'm thinking this is going to be pretty good. And I took a listen to it this morning in its entirety. You're going to hear some Focus, obviously. They're also from Holland. You're going to hear a little bit of Yes, and there's one other band that struck me like when I heard. I heard a little bit of Golden Earring also, once again, from Holland, okay? This is solid, okay? So this was $18, okay? So basically I got it for 16. Thank you, Mike. Then I see this, Steve Walsh. I'm a big Kansas fan, especially those first 5 albums, okay? So this is Steve Walsh's album, Screamer Dreamer, Mint, Japan, 1980, OB strip, 28 smackers. So we're basically knocking $3 off of that. I got that for 25. Oops. And then I've seen this album bandied about in the VC. Actually, this band, it's pretty rare you'll see it, but Jade Warrior, Lost Autumn's Dream, AVG, $25. So knock 10% off. I got it for $22.50. So that's the first day, okay? Up the next day, we go to Black Dots Records. If you're in Buffalo, ever, go to Black Dots Records. All right, MGK also cut a 10% discount for us there. But also, we get there and we find out everything that is $10 or less is half off. That's 50% for you mathematically challenged. I don't know if you ever heard the joke about math. You know, there's 3 kinds of people when it comes to math, okay? There are those who are good at it, those who are bad at it. Which one are you? Do you get it? Do you get the joke? I only gave you 2 options. But at the beginning, I told you there were 3, okay? All right, so here, Procol Harum live. I want you to look at that price. Black Dots, $1.99. Yeah, so I got that for 1 smacker. Then, Phaedra. Who's it by? Well, they're going to tell you right there because it says by Tangerine Dream. $8. That means I got it for 4. Then I come across The Doors. Okay? It's the 50th anniversary deluxe edition. 3 CDs, 1 LP. I'm sure there's a book in here or something. I haven't. Oh, yes. Liner notes by David Frick. He is of Rolling Stone fame. Okay. They had this marked down to $39, well, basically $40. Okay. So I got it for $36. Okay. It's kind of a box set. Okay. Love that. Then I come across, because that was used, technically. Okay. Then I come across this. The Doors, L.A. Woman. It is a numbered, limited edition. You want to know what number I got? I got number 21,088. Here it is, still in the shrink wrap. Now look at that original price. $89.99. That's $90. On sale for $49.99. That's $50. You knock 10% off of that. That is down to $45. This is the 50th Deluxe Anniversary Edition. 3 CDs and 1 LP. Also includes 2 hours of newly remixed audio and original multi-track session tapes. Experience the progression of each song as it is developed in the studio. How about that? Beat that. Okay. So there, I got those 4 at Black Dots, right? And I'm like, I think the total for that, after my discounts, was $80, okay? Well, these 2 here, if I'm just walking in any day of the week, these 2 are going to cost me more than 80 with tax. But I also got Phaedra and Procol Harum. So take that, out of towners. All right, then, my good buddy FVA. Like I said, I had met him previously up in Montreal. My wife and I were on vacation. It may have been his last video, or certainly the one before. And it's great that he's living in Toronto now. I hope it's great for him, but it's great for me and everybody else who goes to the MGK Bash, because for him to drive down, it's not too long. So I'm assuming he's going to make it there every year. And he showed this album, and I said, well, the title has me. I'm going to have to check it out. And he showed this band by, I don't know if it's Philo, F-I-L-O. Guess where you put the emphasis. And the title of the album is Last Orgasm Before Death. Okay, I can't tell if this is coming out good or not because I'm outside. I've got sun glasses on and the sun's going in and out. You'll just have to take my word for it. Okay? I like the little figurine on the back there too. So thank you, FVA. Thank you very much. You are a true gentleman. Then, my buddy Greg, 3 Dimensions. He lays some VCLT on me. He gives me from W Vinyl Community Systems. That's what we're going to call that, WVCS. I guess it's a station out of Pittsburgh. He knows I like my Pat Travers. Promo copy only, not for sale. From his very fine album, Hot Shot. So thank you, Greg. And he also gave me this. It's got a hot chili pepper, and it says, Bite Me, Arizona. I think I need one that says Bite Me, Illinois. Then, Jack, Lionel Martini. My God, when he shows up on Wednesday. No, wait, did we go back? No, this was on Thursday, because he was there Wednesday when we went out to dinner, okay? Have another drink, Steve. Cheers. All right. He knows I love my Rory Gallagher. And Jack is a man of good taste. Wealth and fame, as the Rolling Stones will tell you. So Jack walks in, and I see it in his arms, and I said, Jack's got taste. And he hands it to me. He says, that's for you. Why? At the Isle of Wight. Yeah, that's Mr. Rory Gallagher's first band. He only did 2 studio albums. I do not have this on vinyl. Thank you very much, Jack. We all long to have his head of hair. Then, what, I got 3 pieces of VCLT. I got more VCLT than I did buy records, okay? Because I got 3 at Revolver, I got 4 at Black Dots, and I got really 6 pieces of VCLT. We talked the 5 albums and the poster. So Mr. Randy Nelson, who I first had the pleasure of meeting at in Tulsa, at the Bob Dylan, was it Tulsa or is it Omaha? I forget. Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Dwight Twilley's from, I think, no. Or was it Omaha, Nebraska? God, can't remember. That's bad. Showing my years, all 70 of them. You wouldn't know to look at me. All right, so anyway, Randy talked about this band on one of his videos. Morning Star. So he brings this to me. Thank you very much, Randy. I'm going to have to give this a listen today. I think he kind of likened them to Kansas, which, if that's what they sound like, I'm all in on it. Then, Final Sean from Florida. He rolls into town. And not just me. I think he gave VCLT to a number of people, which is very nice of him. And he knows I like World Party because I've shown this band a number of times. Also, I'm a big Waterboys fan and the head of World Party, Carl Wallenberger. He used to say that 3 times real fast. If you've had a couple of drinks, Wallenberger, Wallenberger, Wallenberger. He brings in one of their later albums because if you're like me and you like that band, you've probably got Private Revolution and Goodbye Jumbo. And then they did an album called Bang, which I have too. And I have this on CD. I didn't even know this was available on LP. But Sean, being the fine gentleman he is, he gives me Egyptology. Yeah, take that, Susanna Hoff. So thank you, Sean. And I think that is it. This is probably way too long. But you know what? It's a pretty unique experience. It's one that I really treasure. These people, many of them have become very good friends. Um, I'm on a text chain with MGK, Gary at Your Physical Format, Randy in the Lion's Den, the man who never makes a video, but he's very busy. He's got a lot of things going on. So once time frees up for Randy, I'm sure he'll start posting videos on a more frequent basis. So those guys I talk to every day. We just have a good time just talking about whatever. A lot of times it's not even about music. We just enjoy busting each other balls and checking in on each other, seeing if everything's okay. Trevor used to be on that chain and he stepped away, and Anthony used to be on that chain and he stepped away. But as they know, they are always welcome to come back. And I encourage anyone who is stuck out to this point, if there's any way you can make it to the MGK Bash next year, you better be there. I got to tell you, going into this year, I thought, you know what? I'm moving in December. It's still going to take January and February to settle in, and my wife are going to go to Germany. I was thinking I may not do the MGK Bash next year, but there's no way I can miss it now. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So go ahead and invite yourself, and I'm sure Mike and Patty will welcome you into their house just like they have everyone else. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye.